Uh, we want everyone who's there, who have logged in. We have two platforms right now. One is directly through YouTube, and the other one is through WebEx. So the users in WebEx are kindly requested to keep your audios muted throughout the session. It's a kind request because the moment you unmute, if there are more than a few number of users, then echoing usually happens. So please avoid for the smooth running of the webinar. So again, I welcome you all to the webinar. As you guys know, today's webinar is on to know all about MDes. So basically about the exams NID and CEED. Okay, and not on NIFT. I would like to start mention it in the start. And for us, the speaker for the day is M.Des. So I would like to introduce a speaker. He has done his Master of Design in Transportation and Automotive Design, which comes under Industrial Design at PG Campus, NID Gandhinagar. He has an industrial experience in HAL, Hindustan Aeronautical Limited, for 5 years, followed by, and also industrial experience in Mahindra and TI Cycles. He also has teaching experience. His teaching experience is in Oxon School of Design as an assistant professor. So I welcome Vibhu and I'm handing it over to Vibhu. Vibhu, shall we start?
Thank you, Azim. Yes, definitely we can start. Thank you, Azim, for that kind introduction. And I hope the screen is properly shared with you all. Hello, Azim, could you just give a small feedback on that? Probably after that I can continue.
Yeah, it's visible, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So, welcome you all on board to this webinar, which is all about simplifying MDes. It's a very brief content which we have prepared on behalf of THiNC Institute of Design to give the aspiring students for the MDes within our country. So there are a lot of students who probably want to get into the premium institutes like NIDs and IITs and SPAs. So for them, this is a very brief insights based on what are the things happening over these colleges, what are the type of courses being provided, what are these courses all about, and what are the basic admission procedures and how to get into these colleges. So that is what we will be talking about throughout this webinar, Simplifying MDes. So I hope Wasim has given a very small brief introduction about myself. I'm not going to talk much about on that side. So we'll move on to the upcoming slides. Okay. Yes. I hope my video is also being shared. Yes. So to start with, what is basically Master of Design? Basically, as most of you are aware of, this is a PG course. This is MDes or M.Design or M.Des, which is very commonly abbreviated in the format. It's a post-graduation academic master degree course which is awarded throughout many of the well-established design-based colleges within our country, especially NIDs, IITs, and SPAs. Other than that, there are also many private colleges which provides master degree courses within our post-graduation courses within our country. So basically, this course provides insights into basically 3 types of design-oriented contents. Basically, industrial design, communication design, textile design, and also something called as IT integrated design. So within our country, these are the major envelope within which all the design contents have been taught. So usually any student who is having a bachelor degree, whether it is in architecture, whether it is in science, fashion, art, or any other UG graduate, probably can join for the schools of PG. And again, usually MDes within our country is provided in a duration of 2 to 2.5 years, out of which the last 6 months is usually an internship, which is on-the-job training, where the students are supposed to identify a proper industry based on their specific stream and do an internship over there for 6 months. And based on their internships, they are supposed to submit a research paper, and based on the outcome of the research paper, they would be awarded the master degree. So that is how basically the content happens, or what the course is all about. Now, coming to the content, why MDes? So there are lots of post-graduation courses within our country, and if you look back in the past 5 to 6 years, you can see there's a large boom towards movement inclination towards joining students joining, and I see a lot of colleges and schools have taken design as a very important gradually started incorporating the major subject in many of core schools. I think even CBSE started incorporating design as a major content recently in their syllabus. So uh, as well as there are lots of job opportunities all across the fields of masters in design. So in the last couple of years, maybe not a couple of years, maybe last few years, 5 to 6 years, you can see there is a large boom in the sector of design. So you can see if you look back, maybe 10, 15 years prior, especially in a country like India, when I would rather talk with an example. When we used to buy automobiles or cars, we were aware of the fact that our major intent of getting a car was to get transported from a point A to point B. We were not much aware of the aesthetics or the beauty or the luxury which could be available in this car. But the years has changed. But as we have matured, our automotive industry has matured, we can see that everyone is not just needing a vehicle which can transport from A to point B. Rather, the the requirements has improved. They are rather considering a vehicle as a status symbol. They show it as a sense of power. They want to have the vehicles which look something aesthetically beautiful, something which is luxurious. So you can see that interpretations of these advancements in the vehicles also. So it is not just in the field of automobiles. When you consider it all across all the products which majorly we consume, let it be FMCG foods, the type of packaged foods, the type of movies we enjoy, or types of fashion related dresses and clothing we wear, we can see the reflections or the waves all across all this. What the intent over here is every industry in our country has understood the importance of designers or creative contents within their products. So the diversity, the importance of designers in every field has flourished a lot. So if at all you're pursuing a course in the field of design, the opportunity of you getting a job in a design sector is rather better. So there are very vast opportunities. There is wide varieties of courses which is provided within our country across these premium institutes, including fashion design, product-oriented stuffs, interior design, web designing, gaming design, graphic designing, animation, film, whatever, toy and game design, product design, transportation design, whatnot. So whichever products you basically look at, or if you are interested into any specific area, yes, this is the right possibility for you guys. So uh, basically through the course of MDes, what you will be taught about designing a product is not just catering to the functionality of the product. It's just more than that. When you create a product, it is not the purpose for what it is made. As I was giving the example of an automobile, where the intent was to travel from point A to point B, the intent had changed. Now it is rather a luxury status. So the same goes with every product. Now in the current scenario, everyone want when you are looking into masters in design, you will be given insights into not just making a product with its proper functionality. You would be also looking at who is the consumer, what is the age group, what is the geography, what is the cultural background, what is the age or what is the gender, what is the aesthetic sense of the personality, who is the age group, all based on this their content will the product be designed. So through this process, we will be given insights or basic idea of how to go about designing a product. And let me come to this conclusion that when you look at designing a product, let it be fashion, let it be animation, let it be product, let it be UI UX, the basic intent of design up to some extent shares the same platform. So one of the other, excuse me, one of the other factor which worries majority of this of the people and their parents is how possible or how genuine are the companies recruiting masters in design. In the current scenario, as I said, there are a lot of industries who definitely need designers, and every industry has their own R&D and design firms within the company. So they want their own permanent employees within all individual organizations. And most of the time, as soon as your courses are over and when the placements happen, there would be a lot of international and national OEMs who would be there, would be ready for giving you an opportunity to get on board their company to give you a very decent package. Coming to the package, usually an M.Des student who has done a post-graduation M.Des would decently be able to get avail a package somewhere between 5 to 10 lakhs per annum. I'm saying an average. So that is based on if you're just graduated with not really putting much of effort, you'll still be able to manage somewhere between 5 to 10 based on the stream which you have chosen. Now, based on your capabilities and your skills, the upper limit has no boundaries. Let me tell about that. And many of the time, you can also see that there are a lot of opportunities outside our country. So those who are seeking for opportunities not to work outside, there are wonderful opportunities in all the design sectors also. And many of the time, I have seen a lot of guys who, after completion their post-graduation, may be going for a very few years of industrial experiences, and very frequently they start on with their own company. And many of them have reached, done wonderful stuff. So this is also a very good window for many of the entrepreneurs down there who are planning to move ahead to starting on with their own businesses. So what is your keen interest? Identify those, get ready on to for this master's course. Probably after your course, you never know, you can start your own business based on your interest. Now, who all are the right persons probably should going for this course? The course, let me tell you this fact very cleverly that no one should be interested to get into this course because of the wonderful packages you will be getting after this. Rather, what I would appreciate is, I would expect, or I would ask you guys to do is, those who have a keen interest towards the field of art and design are the ones probably who should be going for this, because those are the people for whom there are no limits. There are a lot of wonderful opportunities out there for the field of art and for the field of design. For those who have real enthusiasm in the field of art and design, and you have something which is quirky or something which is creative, yes, this is the right place for you. Other than that, based on the requirement of degree, usually a person who has any UG degree is capable of getting onto postgraduate courses. I guess some years back there were some limitations on based on what was your degree and based on those qualifications, or where you were allowed to select some specific stream. But as the years has matured, that limitations on that rules, the stringentment in the rules has come down a bit. Also, one more important thing which you should be aware of is anyone who has cleared a UG probably should have a minimum aggregate of 50% mark for applying for these examinations. And most important of all these things, definitely you need to clear the entrance examination provided by these premium institutes. So each of these institutes, let it be NID, let it be IITs, or let it be the School of Planning and Architecture, each and every institute have their own premium, their own entrance examination. For IITs and SPs, the common platform is CEED. For NID, we have the common NID examinations, and we will be probably discussing about that also in the future, in the coming slides. So you need to clear these examinations first. Probably after that, there will be another session, which is an interview one, followed by based on your rank list. After that, probably you will be selected. Now, as I was telling, we are only looking at the major players or the premium institutes which is there within our country under the control of government. So there are majorly three organizations, which is National Institute of Design, IITs, and School of Planning and Architecture. And UCID is the examination conducted by IIT Bombay in behalf of all IITs within our country. So if you look at NID, there are recently a lot of more of campuses which has come up, but for post-graduation, the major three campuses are main campus Ahmedabad, PG campus Gandhinagar, and R&D campus Bangalore. Now coming to IITs, these are the 7 basic IITs which provides major IITs which provide Master of Design courses in our country. There are IIT Bangalore, IIT Bombay, IIT Delhi, IIT Hyderabad, IIT Guwahati, IIT Kanpur, IIT DM Jabalpur. And coming to SPA, even though there are 3 SPAs in our country, basically SPA Delhi and SPA Bhopal are the ones which are providing master degree courses in our country, master design courses in our country. Now, coming to the courses which is provided across these major institutes, I will briefly let you know what all the courses are all about, and probably in the upcoming slides I will discuss on what individual courses are probably going to be giving inputs on. Basically, we'll start with NID, the main campus Ahmedabad. The courses which are provided for post-graduation is basically animation film design, film and video communication, furniture and interior design, graphic design, ceramic and glassware design, product design, and textile design. Similarly, coming to the PG campus Gandhinagar, the courses provided over there is apparel design, lifestyle accessory design, new media design, photographic design, strategic design management, toy and game design, and transportation and automobile design. Now coming to the R&D campus Bangalore, the basic courses provided over there is design for retail experiences, digital game design, information design, interaction design, and universal design. Now coming to IITs, the major courses provided across the different IITs in our country is IIT Bangalore, where it gives insights into M.Des in product design and engineering. IIT Bombay provides the maximum number of M.Des courses in our country, that is M.Des in industrial design, into M.Des in visual communication, animation, interaction design, mobility, and vehicle design. Coming to IIT Delhi, it is M.Des in industrial design. IIT Hyderabad provides M.Des in visual design. Now coming to IIT Guwahati, Kanpur, and Jabalpur, they give majorly M.Des in design under the platform of product industrial design and graphic design or communication design. Now coming to School of Planning and Architecture, as I said, majorly there are 3 of them, but it is SPA Delhi and SPA Bhopal which is providing masters in design. So in SPA Delhi, the courses provided is M.Des in industrial design and M.Des in urban design. And coming to SPA Bhopal, the course provided is M.Des in visual communication and product design. Excuse me. So there are, so as I told, these are some of the major colleges and courses which are provided under these umbrellas of these courses. Now we will look at the major envelope under which all these courses can be classified as. They're all around us. We are in a consumer-based society and we have a lot of products being used in day-to-day life, starting from our clothes to the products which we use, which is medical products, healthcare products, food products, transportation products, our basic electronic and digital gadgets, whatever it is. All these products are designed and mass-produced, you should understand. So these products, when designed, there has been some sort of creativity, some sort of ideation based on the user persona, who is going to be the consumer for the product, what is the age group, what is the geography, what is the culture. All this has been understood, and based on that are the products being designed. Because of the current competition among different industries, each companies know that they can't sell their product only by just the functionality. They should move far ahead of it. They probably are worried about the accessories and the extra additional qualities or functionality or aesthetics which their products can provide. Industrial design basically talk about the day-to-day life products which we use in terms of its mass production and about its aesthetics rather than just functionality. So the major courses which come under industrial design is transportation design, ceramic and glassware design, toy and game design, furniture and interior design, product design. Now let me going further into each and every courses. Let me tell you one thing. Industrial design is a course which should be chosen by people who have a core interest towards understanding machines, have a pragmatic approach towards objects and things around. They have an ability to fix things. They have a DIY ability, have a skill towards craft, have a tendency to repair things or make stuff. So if you are a type of people who probably love working with machines and love the functionality and manufacturability of it and don't worry getting your hands dirty, industrial design is the right course for that for you guys. And based on your core interest, whether your interest is towards making products or whether your interest is towards making a toy, you never know what your interest is. Based on that, you should choose the correct courses which is available there. Now, the major courses which is provided, as I told, under industrial design is basically transportation design, ceramic and glassware design, toy and game design, furniture, and product design. So I'm not going further a lot deeper into this. Transportation design is all about creating automobiles, which can be a car, motorcycles, interiors of maybe helicopter, ship. It has no limits. Majorly, the people who are into transportation design get opportunities to work with car designer-based OEMs. Similarly, product designers. Product designers are the ones who are into creating products, not just looking into the functionality, also looking to making the product look aesthetically beautiful based on the consumer. Furniture and interior design is more into setting up a proper furniture, identifying what is the type of furniture which probably could go around with creating an interior. Which type of furniture should go along with the mood of a particular cafe or a restaurant or maybe an interior of a house. A furniture and interior designer would be probably looking at all these areas. Toy and game design obviously is into creating physical playable toys, the interaction of the toys with the kids, and creating games. I hope you guys understand the basic difference between toys and games. And finally, you have the ceramic and glassware designs where you will be working with different type of materials into creating cutleries, and the major mediums you will be working with basically will be terracotta, ceramic, and glasses. Okay, so that is all about basically industrial design. Now, based on your interest, you should be choosing which window you should be going about it. Now, coming to communication design. Communication design is again another wonderful design stream which basically has this major 4 PG courses within our country, and that is film and video design, graphic design, photographic design, and animation and film design. And as I said, even in industrial design, many of the courses are provided majorly in NID and IITs. Coming back to communication design in this stream, you can see that film and video design is a course which is provided both in IITs, means I've written UCEED, sorry for that. You have to clear CEED examination or NID to go for film and video design. Similarly, graphic design is majorly for NID and UCEED, for CEED. Similarly, photography design for NID, and animation design is again a course which is provided both in IITs and in NID. So communication design is again a wonderful course which is seen all over the place, starting from creating a poster to creating a movie or creating an animated movie or telling a story through photographs or videos. Everything needs a communication designer. So most of the time, the capabilities of the animation designer or a film and video designer or photographic designer or graphic designer are somewhat interchangeable, or there are a lot of overlapping skills. So based on what is your major inclination towards, you can choose graphic design, animation, film, or photographic design. And many of the time, many of these designers who work in choose each of this individual stream, many of the times work interdisciplinarily. And the people who have core interest towards illustrations, animated sketching, character drawing, doing photography, creating small short films and movies, doing interesting posters, creating wonderful artworks are the ones probably who should be choosing communication design. Now, coming to the fashion and lifestyle accessory design, I don't think I need to talk much about fashion, lifestyle, accessory design because this is the thing which is very evident from the usage fashion design. So the major courses which is provided within our country, other than National Institute of Fashion Technology (NIFT), is basically in NID, and the courses provided there in post graduation is basically apparel design, lifestyle accessory design, and textile design. So basically, apparel design is all about creating new types of designs of apparels of clothes, following different trends or type of scenarios, the type of persona, type of user who's going to make use the fabric, and geography, many other parameters affect it. So basically, it's all about designing new type of apparels. Lifestyle accessory is creating lifestyle-based products which is used in a daily life, day-to-day life use, starting from bangles, earrings, um, maybe your bags, your shoes, your wallets, your belt. All these things basically come under lifestyle accessory design. And you can even go into a lot of interior designing things also come with the lifestyle accessory. For example, lighting based solutions and a lot of other interesting stuff which they are very frequently used in modern houses to make the interior look interestingly good. So those all come under the branch of lifestyle accessory design. Textile design, which basically looks into creating wonderful textiles. That's the basic difference between apparel and textile is only intended at creating fabrics, specific look and feel. What is the tactile feel? What is the texture you are getting from the textile? The type of different dyeing process you should be following to get different types of pattern. All this basically will be covered under textile design. Okay. Now coming to the IT integrated design, this is the latest update in the field of master's courses within our country. So the major courses which comes under uh, IT integrated design is, just a minute. Yeah, the major courses which comes under it is interaction design, digital game designing, new media design, and information design. So it's a digital era all around. So you have a lot of interactions and a lot of day-to-day life interactions and buying and usage of things related to mobile phones and through digital media. Especially in this COVID scenario, most of us buy things, do our major interactions, do our even many of our work schedule happens through digital mediums. So how we go about interacting on all this? What are the different types of interactions possible? Many of the youngsters are probably into the digital gaming scenario very frequently. How can we enhance the quality of game design through this medium? How can we enhance the ability of handling information through this digital media? All this is basically coming under the window of in IT integrated design, and the major courses provided is information design, interaction design, digital game design, and new media design. So the people who have a core interest towards computer programming are ones who have really good interest into UI UX, the ones who are really good with computer operations and digital medium operations. This is the right opportunity for you guys. Sorry guys, I think somebody's mic is unmuted, so make sure a very humble request. Yeah, could you just please look into your mic, and if somebody's mic is unmuted, please make it mute. So we'll move on to the next thing. We'll start with looking at what are the major number of seats, what are the courses provided, and what are the seats available in these premium institutes in our country. And this is the latest updated list. Starting with National Institute of Design, main campus Ahmedabad. For animation and film design, we have 19 seats. Ceramic and glassware design, we have 12 number of seats. Furniture and interior design, we have 19 seats. Film and video communication, we have 19 seats. Graphic design, we have 19 seats. Product design, again 19. And textile, 19 seats. Going into National Institute of Design, PG campus, Gandhinagar. The major courses are apparel design, there are 19 seats. Lifestyle accessory design, 19. Strategic design management, 19. Media design, 19. photographic design 19, toy and game design 12, transportation and automobile design 19 seats. Coming to the R&D campus Bangalore, the courses provided are design for retail experience 19 seats, digital game design 19 seats, information design 19 seats, interaction design 19 seats, and universal design 19 seats. Now coming to Indian Institute of Technology, the IITs, the number of colleges are majorly 7, which provide the post-graduation courses in design. Starting from IIC Bangalore, we have total number of 19 seats, and the masters is provided in product design and engineering. And in IIT Bombay, which is also called as Industrial Design Center, which has total number of 78 seats with individual and master design and industrial design 17 seats. Visual communication design we have 17. Interaction design we have 16. Animation we have 14 seats. And mobility and vehicle design, which is transportation design, we have another 14 seats. Coming to IIT Delhi, we have total number of 20 seats for the course M.Des in industrial design. In IIT Hyderabad, we have total of 30 seats with M.Des in visual design. And coming to IIT Guwahati, there are 33 seats. IIT Kanpur, there are 26. And IIT DM Jabalpur, we have 33 seats. And the course they provide is for M.Des in communication and visual and communication design and industrial design. It's a combined course over there. Now coming to the School of Planning and Architecture, basically there are two SPAs which provides PG courses in design, SPA Delhi and SPA Bhopal. SPA Delhi provides 54 seats altogether, which is industrial design 29 seats and urban design 25 seats. And M.Des in visual communication product design, total number of 25 seats is provided at SPA Bhopal. So these are the number of seats which are in the at present available for admissions from this year on. Now we will look at what are the basic admission process, which is a very generic standard I'm going to explain, because every year there is a lot of updations which is happening within NID, within IITs, and within other institutes in the way of selection. The type, starting from the examination pattern, the process of the application, the interview, there has been a lot of updations and upgradation. And in this year, recently, the examination had a lot more changes as usual because of the COVID scenario, because many of people were not able to physically move and attend a personal interview and examinations. In that case, the examination patterns are altogether different. So every year, the pattern usually has some sort of changes, but the basic intent of the examination or the procedure of selection remains the same throughout this time. So the basic way the examination process is going to happen is through three steps. Majorly starting with an entrance examinations. For NID, it would be the need examination. That is, NID itself would be conducting the examination for all the major 3 NID colleges. For IITs, it is conducted by Industrial Design Center IIT Bombay, which is called as Common Entrance Exam for Design. And this same platform is shared by SPA and many other private colleges for admission of students into their colleges. Now, once you have qualified into the entrance through the entrance examination, you would have to forward an application to the specified institutes based on your entrance result or an entrance course. And based on this application, you will be called upon for a personal interview along with a portfolio review. So we'll go in depth into understanding what is this personal interview and portfolio review in the upcoming slides. So this is the major 3 elements which will be there. Now let's start looking at what is the general pattern of examination in NID, especially for PG. So basically this starts with, they have 3 platforms, that is design aptitude test, then you have a studio test, and finally we have a personal interview and portfolio review. Many of the time the studio test and situation test are confused with each other. They are basically the same. It is called studio test or NID, and NIFT very frequently call it as situation test. So a design aptitude test would basically measure your aptitude in terms of creative thinking. Are you really a person who has some sort of core interest into the field of design? that is what is going to be measured in the data examination. So many of the time there has been a mixed way of asking the questions. So in the previous 5 years, 5 3 4 5 years before, the examination for that was very stream specific. For example, if you are chosen interior design, your questions would be very specific to interior design. If you are into photographic design, there would be questions which is very specific to photographic design. But the trend has been changing, and it has later on upgraded with the platform. The examination is going to be common for irrespective of which stream you are interested in. Even if you are interested in transportation, car interior product, ceramic, fashion, whatever is your pure interest, the basic design aptitude test remains the same for each and every understanding of in a very beginner level. Color theory and understanding of color psychology, the basic principles of design and composition, typography or lettering, understanding of picture analysis, analyzing ability, visual logic, basically spatial ability, your ability to visualize a 3D shape in from different views, or to understand what is the object actually going to look like when it's viewed from a particular place. That skills, good design versus understanding what is good design versus bad design, the very basic fundamentals of drawing. Basically, are you really good in, are you capable enough to express your ideas through illustration that will be measured through rough doodles. Memory drawing, exercises on imagination, presentation technique, imagination and doodling, 3D visualization, graphical and pictogram skills, innovation, creation, design awareness, and your observation skills. These are some of the things which will be measured basically in your data examination. The data examination is a written type of examination where you have to write, probably you have to illustrate, and there can be also multiple choice type questions. So it's a mixture type questions where there can be different types of question asked at you. A whole lot of booklet will be given to you, and probably you need to answer that in your design aptitude test. Once you have cleared enough through your DAT, you will be called upon for a studio test. And if you are cleared only that, you will be called upon for your studio test. And the secondary stage of studio test, the major contents you should be aware of is, are you good in model making or really good with making stuffs? Are you good in terms of material handling? So many of the times when you're going to be a designer, you need to know handling stuffs. So, and again, it depends very specifically on courses. For example, if you look at courses like strategic design management, it's a very based or many of the time creative thinking based course wherein you probably need not want to physically make a lot of products, but your abilities in terms of coming up with creative ideas are what is being measured over there. So in that place, probably modeling making is not what will be measured upon. So it's very specific, stream specific when you go to studio test. So it is the major thing would be model making, doodling, how to evolve our idea out of a doodle, audio visual exercises. For example, you will probably be given some audio clippings. You need to identify some audios, probably need to illustrate or maybe make a product out of the audio theme, something like that. Or maybe you would be shown a visual based on that. You have to identify the right audio which will be presented to you.
Yeah, sir. Yeah, so you can continue.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Yeah. So that is all about the general overview of how the examination is going to be conducted in NID for PG. Basically, the main part, as I discussed, is all about that, the studio test, and personal interview. So, as I said, the major thing probably is to get the DATs cleared, and once you're done with that, the hurdle is not over yet. You should be able to clear the studio test where you will be measured in your understanding your skill towards your specific stream. What is your interest? Based on that, you will be measured in this part. Finally, you will be looked upon in a personal interview and portfolio review. So we'll look at personal interview and portfolio maybe in the coming slides. Now coming to the general overview of the exam CEED, which is the common platform or the filter through which students who want to enter into IITs and SPS can qualify for post-graduation. There are majorly three parts. One is the Part A, which is the preliminary screening test, which includes the major topics like visualization, spatial ability, environmental and social awareness, analytical and logical reasoning, language and creativity, design thinking and problem solving skills, observation, and design sensitivity. Coming to part B, which is a secondary screening test, which would be once you have qualified through part A, only will you be able to apply for part B, and you will be called for personal interview and portfolio review. The part B is again something which is related to creativity and your drawing skills. Your communication skills and problem identification will also be looked upon in the part B section. Finally, coming to the personal interview and portfolio review, as I said, is something which has a lot to talk about. Now, I would give you some very generic insights on the interview, how it's going to happen both for NID and IIT. So when you look at an interview, once you have cleared through the examination, the studios test and the written test for NIDs or IITs, in the interview panel there would be a person, there would be people, or there would be faculties who would be looking at your abilities into the specific field or stream. They would be looking at your interest, your keen. Are you really keen into going for this course, or is it just for the sake of getting a course that you have chosen? Many of the times, students who have really wonderful scores probably get at times rejected because they did not see the core interest they have wanted into getting into their college. So one of the important parameter is also that you need to have a very really good keen interest into getting into these colleges. Then there would be a psychologist probably who would also be looking at the psychological parts related to you. They will be having some psychometric test along during the interview. They'll also be having a portfolio review wherein they would be looking at your portfolio, which is a physical document which should be provided during the interview session, which you should be handing over to them prior to the portfolio review. So many of the times when you are entering a personal interview, you should be having the basic documents which are necessary for interview along with your portfolios. Okay. Now I'll give you a very small brief of exactly what is meant by a portfolio. So portfolio is basically a document or a set of documents which is provided to showcase one's capability or one's skills, which is rather in the field of arts or design or in the creative side. So if you're an artist, or if you're a photographer, or if you're a film designer, or if you're a graphic designer, you probably can't just write it down in a PDF or maybe in a Word document and present it to them. They need to physically see what is exactly that you have done. What are your visual skills? What are your capable aesthetics know-hows? How mature are you in terms of graphical design? How good are you in terms of your understanding in color? All this will be shown or showcased in your portfolio. So it can be very specific to what your interest is. For example, if someone or somebody of you are interested into fashion design, probably they can show their portfolio having works which is related to creating fashion-oriented works. It could be illustrations. It could be a one-is-to-one fashion design or an apparel design which you have done, or it could be a scaled version of something which you have done, probably a craft or lifestyle accessories product. Maybe you have made a wallet. Maybe you have made a shoes. Maybe you have made some paintings. All this can be considered as something which can be put up in a portfolio. One important thing which I would suggest to you guys when you're putting portfolios, um, when you join for any courses before going for a master's, start within the initial time itself for preparing for portfolio. Many of the times students find it really challenging when they are nearing towards the interview or portfolio review. They probably may not have the best works. So when you're planning for 2021, please start on with the work for portfolio from now on. Collect some sort of interesting work, which could be a sculpture, which could be a painting, which could be some digital art, or maybe it could be a physical product which you have made. You have made a DIY stuff. Maybe you have designed a motorbike. You can take a photo of it. What is the process which you have followed? Put it up in a sheet of paper. All this becomes a part of your portfolio. So it again depends on what is the specific streams you are going into. If your interest is into fashion design, maybe your core interest into car design may not be really useful, but it can just show your capabilities, or maybe they can show the bandwidth of that personality. That's it. So start on with your portfolio work if you are intended for joining any of the major institutes. from the early time itself. That is the major point which I wanted to give to you. Also, many of the time, you can also carry your physical prototypes or products which you have done during your free time, or maybe because of your interest, you have done some sort of sculpture. You have made some prototypes. If you have done it physically, you can bring it along with you for your interview so that you can physically show that in the interview panel, so they can get an understanding. Okay, this guy is for someone who has really craft, or one who has really hands-on skills. All those can be showcased during your portfolio review. Now, coming to the major portions of the major part of this course, PG course, MDes, how is the placement about? So as I have been telling you earlier from the beginning, MDes is a course which is flourishing in our country, and there is a lot more companies and organizations who have realized the importance of designer within them, starting from their marketing to the UI UX to making the prototype look aesthetic. They want designers. So there is a vast opportunity for designers, ranging from whichever stream you are: fashion, automobile, toy design, ceramic glassware, furniture, UI UX. Everyone has a lot of opportunities, and you can earn a very decent package comparing to many of the other master courses available in our country. Now, as I said, this is on an average range. You can get a package ranging from somewhere to 5 to 10 lakhs, but that is just the average. You can go far ahead of this based on your skills and your capabilities. So usually, you would be recruited by many of the OEMs within our country as a communication designer, an interior designer, maybe a design thinking expert, basically one who has done a strategic design management, UI UX designer, industrial designer, fashion designer, graphic designer. So these are some of the major designer taglines which probably can be connected along with you once you are done with your MDes or when you get into an industry. So I have put forth some of the major recruiters which usually come for placement from these premium institutes, NIDs, IITs, and SPs. These are some of the major, and I have not even put 1/3 of the major companies which have come over to this, because I had limitation of putting. I only selected the best and the really good companies which usually very frequently recruit from NID, IITs, and SPs. So you have a lot of really good opportunities waiting for you. Now, coming to knowing more about these colleges, what are the educations provided over there, what are the services, what are the type of syllabus being taught. You probably can go and visit their website. I have shown the URL above here, and this is the page layout. When you open the website, this is how probably you are going to open the NID website. And coming to IITs, as I said, for IIT and SPA, the platform for entering into their colleges is basically the same, that is common entrance exam for design, and it is CEED, and the website link is given over here. And I hope most of you are at least aware of the fact that the admission for both UG and PG for CEED and UCEED has recently been opened, and information brochure and registration forms are available from their website, and you can see from the top left corner, the link for CEED website or PG registration is shown over here. And this is the website for SPA, and this is the interface through which probably you can browse SPA's contents. Now, coming to THiNC. So we are one of the premium institute providing design education on a very beginning level. And those who are seeking for colleges like NIDs and IITs or SPAs, I would say THiNC is one of the best starting point for many of you probably. So from here, basically the courses we teach are basically shown as on the right side. The syllabus we usually explore throughout the entire year for making students capable for cracking the examination of NID and CEED. The thought process of teaching is very unique in our institute. What we do is we have just not giving insights into clearing the examination. Rather, we make them rather ready for how to survive within the college. We are not just introducing them into the NID or CEED. We are looking far ahead of it. We make sure that the students are really capable of surviving in a design scenario. So usually the contents we discuss is we make sure the students are capable in their design skills, in the creative thinking capability. Are they really good in terms of their drawing? Are they mature in terms of their material handling? How good are they in sense of general awareness? So in our college, in our institute, we give them insights into uh, how to go about drawing, because many of the students have this doubt that even though we are done with UG, and this is probably the first time we are going to do sketching, if at all we have interest in PG, but for masters in design, but our sketching skills are really pathetic. These are very frequent doubts many of the students inquire with us. So, based on our experience and in the teaching platform, we have seen that within a very short duration, usually within 3 to 4 weeks, we can, up to some extent, develop the basic skills of sketching in most of the students, and they, based on their hard work and their skills, can further take it to the best or to the extremes. And again, we enhance, as I said, creativity is not something which can be enforced on someone. These are things which everyone has their own, based on the geography, from their culture, from the place where they are coming from. Your thought process and design, your ideas are entirely different. What we probably would be helping you is to enhance that into the next level. So we would be giving assignments and helping out with each and every individual students, or giving customized input so that students can go into the next step. Also, in many of the time, designers needs to have a really good skills in terms of material handling, starting from different materials. Maybe it could be clothes, it could be wire, it could be thermocol, it could be wood, or maybe metal. You need to work with this, because you never know whatever material probably is going to be used by you in your product. So you will be given some insights into how different materials behave in different conditions, and some general awareness in the field of design. So these are the syllabus we majorly discuss within our institute, or these are the basic syllabus which usually we cover, which is usually coming within all the syllabus patterns of the major institutes. If you have noticed, you could have seen that. Now, this is the latest input or information which has come from IIT Bombay related to the CEED, which is the CEED notification. And this is the brochure from there. And I have showed you the page before. You can log in through that and start registering if you want now itself. So the important dates related to CEED are September online registration with regular fees starts from September 9th till October of 10th of 2020. Online registration with late fees will start from October 11th to 17th of October 2020. Admit cards will be made available for you on January 1st, 2021. And the examination will be conducted on 17th of January 2021, which is a Sunday. And the final results would be made available to you on March of 8th, 2021. So these are the basic uh, things which CEED has updated from their side based on the latest for the upcoming admissions for IITs and SPAs. So please do check out this website and do your based on your interest by registering this. So with this much content, I think we have come to the basic. We have discussed the major contents which I wanted to share, or we wanted to share with you, and I think further information regarding our institute and the way our teaching happens and the contents probably will be discussed by our faculties. I would hand over to our next faculty, Wasim. Dear Wasim, I think you can give some insights from your side.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Ibu. Thank you. So, can I just share the screen, please? Still not able to share the screen. Thank you, everyone. So before moving on, I would just like to introduce myself. I am Azim. I'm part of ThiNC, and I'm part of ThiNC Institute of Design. I'm currently pursuing my PhD in IIT Madras, Department of Manufacturing Engineering. And here I would like to give you an intro about ThiNC. We are here for the past 10 years in the field of design and architecture entrance examinations. We take exams for BArch, MDes, and M.Des. And the exams which we help students on, support students on, is on NATA, JEE Paper 2, NID, NIFT, UCEED, CEED, all these exams. And our faculties are usually IIT, SPA, CEPT, NID, NIFT, and NIT alumni. And we have both online and offline classes. We use animation videos, we use 3D modeling softwares, we use studio classes. So it's more kind of an interactive with a better visual experience for you to understand. And we are sure we make sure that it's one-on-one guidance for the students. Like this, we conduct frequent webinars and workshops for the students as an awareness aspect. And then we have regular as well as crash batch. And we have students from different countries. So if you're talking, we have toppers for all these exams like NATA, JEE Paper 2, NID, NIFT, UCEED, CEED. Like last year we had the NATA All India Rank 1 with a record score. And if I'm talking to you about the NID results of last year, we had All India Rank 1 category, category rank or transportation and automobile design for Ashwin. We had All India Rank 2 graphic design for Donny. We had All India Rank 4 in general category for Donny, and for All India Rank 4 animation for Arvind Senan. These are just three results which I have shown. We have a lot of students who have joined NIDs and IITs and all. So yeah, this is some insight which I wanted to give. So before, I would like to end and hand it over for an interactive session to everyone, because I know you guys are waiting for this. I just can't take much time. Now it's open for an interactive session, for a Q&A session. Now you can ask your questions in the chat box, in the WebEx, or in the YouTube platform. And yeah, the speaker, Vibhu, will be clearing your queries. Again, handing over to Vibhu, you can start. Yeah, I think Anisha will be reading out the questions for you. Yeah. Anisha, ma'am, all to you now.
Okay, thank you, Wasim.
Thank you, Wasim. Yeah.
Hello, sir. There's a question from Biraj. Can a mechanical engineer appear for CEED?
Why not? Definitely. See, the only thing is, if you are completed your graduation, and your basic requirement is you have completed UG with 50% of mark, you definitely can go for applying for CEED, no problem. So I myself was actually a mechanical engineer. After my graduation, I had joined an NID. So both IITs and NIDs take in graduates who are engineers.
Yeah, ma'am. You can go towards the next question.
Okay, sir. Next question from Anshal and Alaka. What about strategic design management, and are freshers capable to apply for strategic design management?
Yeah. Yes. So the freshers, especially the ones who have cleared with UG, definitely can join strategic design management. And I think many of you have a very basic understanding of what SDM is all about. It is a very new or what a very latest course which has been come up in India, especially in NID, and this course has been made NID rank among one of the premium institutes within our country, within the world, because SDM is not there in a lot of colleges all across the world. So SDM is basically all about coming about innovative ideas in a business. That is all about SDM. Irrespective of what the business is, how innovative can you think in different scenarios? That is probably will be discussed in SDM. You probably might not have to do a lot of sketching and illustrations. Rather, it is a thing which would be rather more in terms of design thinking. Yes, definitely you can. Anisha, next question, man, please.
Okay, sir. Next question. Can I apply for M Design after BSc?
Yes, I think, as I said, for most of the colleges, most of these NIDs and IITs, accept students who are done with their graduations. Only thing is they should have completed their graduations. They should be able to getting into NID. But let me come to the fact: when you go into each and every college individually, for example, into especially into IITs, you should look into the admission browsers of each and every individual colleges, because their selection procedures are not the same throughout. So you can't just generalize that. Even though I generally told that you can apply for most of the courses, you probably need to go in specific. For example, if you want to go for a specific course in IIT Guwahati, you need to search down into the website and see if they accept a BSc student. But majorly, if you look at NIDs and most of the IITs, they should be able to recruit. They should be able to select you if you are clearing the examination. Anisha, madam, next question, please.
Yes, sir. So next question. I am from Knitwear Design. Can I apply for animation design? If yes, then
Why?
where should I focus more while preparing for the same?
Okay, so basically, I hope knitwear design is basically a UG course. I'm not very aware of that. Definitely, you can go for animation design. There is nothing you need to worry about because you're a knitwear designer. And my knowledge in that is very poor, so I probably don't know exactly what that is. But definitely, if you're done with a UG course, you 100% can apply for NID or IITs for animation course. You can definitely add. And especially when you're going for animation field, you should understand why you are a knitwear designer and why are you planning to jump into this thing. Were you actually an animation designer, or you had that keen interest into those, or did you started illustrating at a very early age? You had that keen interest and that ideas and the creative concept within you, but somehow you are not able to you are not even aware of colleges like this. But when you have got an opportunity, definitely you should be going for this. What you can do is start on with doing frequent illustrations, doing character design, watch a lot of animated movies. What are the trends happening? Where was the movie and where are the animated movies going in the current scenario? How is the animation world, animated scenarios moving in the current scenario? Where will it be in the upcoming 5 to 10 years? You should be thinking in all this range and probably start working on that. Start doing some quick illustrations, quick doodling, have a quick sketchbook probably, maybe and very frequently start to illustrate random things, because animation design is all about looking around and designing or sketching things. So please do that. Anisha madam, next question please.
Yes, sir. Another question from Aditi. I am an architect. Can you guide in which courses mostly an architecture graduate should proceed?
See, being an architect, see, there are some differences in the way that these colleges functions. For example, starting from the philosophy based on which the NID works, philosophy based on which IIT works, and the philosophy based on SPA work is entirely different. Now, coming to the reality, NID is a college which is probably a very design oriented, which is more into the creative and aesthetic or more into the artistic side. Rather, college like IITs are more into the functionality and pragmatic and practical side of design. They don't want just a design for the sake of design. They want things to be designed for a functionality. Similarly, when you come to SPA, it is all rooted or related somehow to the architectural background. Even if I said about urban planning and product design, especially the product design which would be taught probably in SPA would be more or less related to related to architecture and things like that, or maybe interior designing, things like that. So you have the reflection of the basic colleges from where you will be taking the degree. Now, if you are a person who want to explore a lot in terms of you probably don't want to make something which is functional. You probably want to make something which is rather more artistic and more creative, where functionality is not of your priority. You probably should, NID could be a good option for you. On the other hand, if you are a person who has core interest into making things which is rather for a society, which is for social purpose, and which is going to have rather more functionality, you can go for choosing design colleges or design in IITs. And if you are planning for doing something which is related to architecture, yet in the field of design, something which is more creative, you can choose those. Now, you being a student who is into the architecture background, the best options would be to go about, if you're planning, there are two options in SPA. One is the urban design and the interior, the product design, no, industrial design. And other than that, if you're planning for joining in NID, the better options would be going for an industrial design, that is product design course, furniture and interior design. These are some of the really good opportunities which you can probably explore. Anisha madam, the next question please.
Okay, sir. Next question, sir. Please tell about automotive design.
Okay, so I personally I'm a car designer actually. So automotive design is a design which is majorly into uh, a lot more variety rather than just saying about car design. It is rather into both creating the system for design, automobile design, and creating the vehicle itself. For example, if you consider a bus survey system in a city, if you are planning a system for that, it also come under transportation design. If you are planning for an Ola service within a small town, the way you are going to design that, it also can come under transportation design. Or else, if you are really interested into creating the product itself, are you interested into creating the car as such, or the motorcycle as such, or the bus, or the truck, or the two-wheelers, whatever you see around? If you are interested into making the exterior, the way it looks, you have a passion for that, yes, automotive design is the right option for that. So there are a lot of opportunities in automotive design all across the globe. But let me tell you one thing: the amount of competition which is going to be there for transportation design is tremendous, especially within our country and outside the country, because the number of transportation designers who get graduated annually is a handful, a lot when compared to the number of seats which are available in the country. If you look at within our India, the number of openings for a car designer is very, very mere. So you should be really competitive. Your skills should be extremely good if you are really wanting to go for this course. Also, it's not that you have really good passion. You can improve your skills. So don't worry that you are not good at sketching skills, but you have that personal passion. You can go for this car design course. So basically, in car design, you will be taught starting from ideation. It's not for just car design. For any design-oriented thing, you will be starting with uh, how to do the basic research. Who is the consumer for your product? Why do we want your product? What is the geography for which your product is being made? What is the year which the product is going to be launched? Is it on 2020? Is it going to be 2025? Is it going to be 2040? How futuristic is this? So, as I said, it's not only for car design; it can be generalized for every design field. So, you should be able to conceptualize. You have to do some research based on which you come up with some concept. The concept you convert into some sort of ideas through sketches and illustrations. From there, you take it into a physical prototype. You do a clay modeling or a physical prototype in a 3D printer. From where you probably do it in a computer aided uses computer aided systems like CAS or CAD to model your product, and you can visualize it. So these are the standard process which you would be following if you are getting recruited into any of the transportation colleges across our country in each. Yeah, Anisha madam, next question please.
Sir, I am a civil engineer who has been working for 3 years in this field. I would like to study furniture and interior design. Is it possible, and how should I prepare?
That is really wonderful that you have done your engineering in civil and you have experience of more than 3 years in your own core field, and you're planning to join interior design and furniture design. So you have a very right sense of direction. I think that is a really good option for you. I myself actually did my graduation in mechanical. I worked for 5 years in mechanical engineering related industry. Then only did I join transportation design. So your experience actually does not matter when you are going to join a post graduation course at all. So don't worry about that. You're good to go. Anisha madam, next question, please. Yeah.
Hello, sir. I have a question.
Yeah.
Sir, I applied for CEED last year. I failed in part A. I'm from an electronics background. I've done engineering in electronics and instrumentation. So my question is, what are the fundamentals required to become an industrial designer? And what are the ways that we can adapt and type of thinking that we can put in our day-to-day life?
Okay. So you are Sangamit Chakravarti. Sangamit, could you just be very specific into industrial design? Do you have any core direction where you want to join if you're planning for industrial design? Or is it just broadly industrial design? Because industrial design basically consists of, as I said, furniture design, lifestyle accessory design, toy and game design, product design. Do you have any core direction where
I'm very interested in product design, but I am interested in other designing too. And I have done research in that part too, but I'm much more interested in industrial design.
Yes. So let me clarify this for you, Sandeep Chakravarti. So many of the time, the way design education happens is it's not that you take up engineering. For example, I am an engineer. I did my graduation in mechanical engineering. I never learned civil engineering. There was electronic engineering in my college. I never learned electronic engineering. There was chemical engineering. I never learned that. There were a lot of interaction with many of my friends there, but I never learned those. But it is not the same when you're going to be in a design college. In a design college, there is a lot of physical interaction in terms of interdisciplinary courses. So even though you are going to be, if your interest is core into product design, or maybe your core interest is into toy design, or maybe a digital product design, but you have been opted into maybe into product design, you still have the opportunity look standing within the product design. What can I make as a product which is going to cater to my area of interest? You can do that. Many of the time, students there do that. So in colleges like NID or IITs, they don't enforce you to do a project on a particular thing. Rather, they have a particular course. The course is rather like studio skills, or maybe product design 1, product design 2, where you have the entire freedom to take up of whatever product you want. You can choose. Maybe if your interest is into creating a bangle, or maybe a lifestyle accessory, your interest is to make it a motorcycle, your interest is to make a phone. Nobody is stopping you. Only thing is your product should be something which is very unique, or something which is not very conventional. If you come up with something which is very unique in terms of idea, you would be appreciated. And when coming back to getting into these colleges, what I would appreciate is you should have a very good sense of, especially for the one who is planning to get into industrial design, they should have a really good sense of observation skills, especially starting from minute details. How are the things around working? What are the basic process operations based on what all the things are working? How does the basic hinge of a laptop work? How am I able to strap my watch? Why is my pen cap getting stuck onto the pen itself? Why is it not coming loose? How does a ball pen work? All these basic things which is there around you, if you are able to cater to, or you have a basic answer for all of those, or do you have really good observation skills, that is something which you should inculcate, or you should enhance, or you should be craving for, which would help you to become a really good product designer. And many of the time you should also have a good DIY skills. You should be able to handle and manipulate materials. All this would be helping you into becoming a good product designer. I hope I answered you. I hope I answered you. Oh, okay. Yeah, who's this?
I'm Dia. I'm from Gurgaon, and I am pursuing graphic communication. I'll be graduating next year, and I wanna apply for masters in animation in NID. So
Wonderful.
could you give me a few tips like as to how to crack NID and yeah, like with the whole procedure,
Yeah,
like yeah.
I think Dia, I have already told basic the technical parts related to going for the examination. So probably I will not discuss on those. Rather, what I would let me first appreciate you for your sense of direction, your interest towards animation. I would really appreciate that. So I think your interest was into getting into animation in NID. There are options in IITs also, whichever you choose. It's a very wonderful opportunity in terms of animation design. The placements, the type of faculties, the type of interactions you're going to happen to get over the institute is wonderful and awesome. So I personally am not an animation designer, and I'm not even an accessory designer. I'm not a lifestyle accessory designer. I'm not an interior designer. I'm not a product designer. I'm majorly a a car transportation designer, car designer. But my experiences and the few years I have spent within my college, uh, that have given me a lot of insights into the way design works and the design education works. So in that sense, what I would recommend, I would have loved if somebody had given these insights to me if I was joining the college before this. So what I would recommend is, see, especially when you're coming into college like NID, it is not your sketching skills what really matters. What matters is your ideas. So many of the time, the people get worried about, oh, my sketching is not that great. We never should worry about. I was really pretty confident about my sketching even before I joined NID, but that never helped me a lot. So it's not about the sketching skills. I have seen a lot of them who are not really wonderful in terms of their sketching, but their ideas are breathtaking. So make sure you are able to think far away from what is there. Are you able to come up with very unique ideas? That is what is being definitely would be mattering when you're applying for colleges like NID and IIT, especially for animation design. Your ideas should be extreme, should be really weird, should be something out of the box. Now, somebody should have never thought of. Also, since you are into animation design, you definitely should have some basic idea in terms of sketching. You should be, so what I would recommend is try to have some frequent sketchbooks. Try to convey some small stories. Make small storybooks around day-to-day things you see around. Maybe you can create a story maybe around a coffee and a fly which is coming for a sip of it. Sit down, sketch or make a quick story out of it. Sit down and maybe look out of the window, see something, sketch it out, create a story, bring something which is unique. So starting to create something new, creating sketchbooks, making story out of yourself from unwanted things, how to create a story of maybe out of maybe a sambar in Italy. How can I do that? Think about all those. Think very unique. You are anyway a graphic designer, so your skills in graphics and your aesthetic sense is going to be really helpful for you to become an animation designer. So you probably need not worry a lot. Your opportunity of getting into this is really good. So do necessary needful and do some hard work. Probably you probably should be able to crack the exam. Best of luck.
Also,
Next. Yeah.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Yes.
I'm
Good
Shreya,
afternoon.
and I have done my graduation in product design, and it's been a year I've graduated. It's been it's been a year, and I want to go for retail design. So I wanted
Okay.
to know what are the kind of questions, and basically how should I go about my portfolio for retail design as a stream. I'm
Shreya,
working as a product designer right now, and I have some experience of visual merchandising as well. But I'm not able to get a clear direction for my portfolio and the kind of questions they might ask in my aptitude exam and the interview.
see, as I said, you have basically you're planning for joining NID in the retail experience design. As I have been telling, firstly, let me clearly make the one thing very clear to you. I'm a transportation design, so my knowledge in the retail experience design is really mere. So please forgive me for that. But I can generally give you some very basic insights which may be helpful for you. What I would recommend is, since your interest is into that area, as I said, for the first part of the examination, which is the written examination, which is going to be the first entry point for when you're planning for NID, that is going to be very generic. It has nothing to do with the retail experience, nothing to do with product design, nothing to do with communication design, nothing to do with the graphic design, nothing like that. It's going to be very generic, and there is a lot of things which can be asked which is related to design. So anyway, you are already a UG guy who is into design, so you probably will be easily able to crack the thing. Only thing is you should be knowing what is the current scenario of patterns which is being followed by NID. So you should have some basic understanding of typography. You should have some basic idea of graphic design, some very good understanding of color theory, some really good understanding of product design. So these are some of the major contents which will be firstly shown in the first part. Coming to the second part, which is a studio test, where you will be exposed in depth into what your skills into retail or what your understanding into that visual merchandising, all those areas will probably will be explored in this part. And yeah, I think me being not a person who is not into that area, my insight in depth would not be very perfect for you. So sorry for that, really. Shreya,
Okay, sir. Thank you.
yeah, yeah.
So, next question from M.Des. Sir, is the interview a basic one just to understand the design knowledge of a person, or is it something more than that, like stress interview?
No, it's not a very see the type of people who NID or IITs or SKs want is not someone probably like an MBA college want. It is rather the creativity which rather matters. So there would be questions which would be checking your psychology and your psychometric test. That is not to test your temper, rather that will be to test your creativity. So will you be able to come up with unique idea in a very short span of time? Or are you stressed? If you are in a stressed condition, will it affect your creativity? These are the areas which probably would be measured rather than not making you put in a stressful situation. That is not their intent. Their intent would be rather to check your ideas or the frequency of ideas. Many of the time what happens is students come up with the same idea but in a different container. It is basically the same sambar which is delivered in the same container. It doesn't matter. It's not what we want. They want everything to be different. They want the jalebi, they want laddu, they want all the different types of food products. They're expecting a lot of creative outcome from you when they are giving a question to you. And are you able to deliver this under stressed condition? So the basic interview would be firstly we'll be measuring your basic understanding in the field of design in the sense creative side. As I was saying in the previous comment, you will be measured in your understanding of creativity, understanding of color theory. Your favorite color might be asked, why have you chosen this shirt? Why so? If you are sitting in this interior, what is the mood you get when you're sitting in this interior, looking at this furniture? What is the feel you're getting? What is the car you have? Why did you choose that? These sort of questions can be asked, which is very emotive. Questions which are very emotional, which should come from your true heart. Questions like that can be asked, where your brain might not need to work. Other things which should be directly from your heart. Things like that can be asked, and questions like that should be answered with your heart, rather not from your brain. Don't think too much. What your heart says should be the answer. But there are questions, for example, if you are a car designer and what they are asking, where does the brand Alfa Romeo come from? And you are thinking from your heart and you're saying it's from India, you're gone. No, it's not like that. If there are questions which should be answered logically, there are answers which should be told from your heart. So it's not a stressful question interview. It's going to be very peaceful and happy interview. Just chill. Admin?
So, next question. Is there a gap between the courses in international universities and the top Indian institutes? Can you migrate to other countries, post M.Design and work there? Is this degree valid?
Could you just come again on the question? Admin?
Yes, sir.
Could you just help me with that question once again?
Yes, sir. Is there a gap between the courses in international universities and the top Indian institutes? Can you migrate to other countries, post M.Design and work there? Is this degree valid?
Yes, I got it. So usually there are differences in the time frame when the courses happen within our country and in other countries, especially in Europe and America. There are a lot of arts colleges, and there are lots of students who do masters and do a lot of openings. There are a lot of openings in Europe and America, and a lot of students go and opt for those opportunities. So how it works is you need not worry much about the time frame when you're working around here, because compared to a country like India, the number of vacations in country like Europe is rather more. Out of 365 days, there are larger more days which are not working in a country like Europe, but there are countries in India where the entire 365 years is made available to us. We can work for the entire 365 days, but it's not like that in the country of Europe and other places. So, but what the coming to the point, you definitely can after your course is done, you can definitely migrate, and there are a lot of opportunities which you can take up. So what usually students does is towards their end of the course or towards their end of the year or towards the end semester, they start on with applying to different OEMs across the globe for a job opportunity, saying that we are students doing our final years and these are our current portfolio. Can we get an internship with your company? Many of the colleges, many of the students do that. And at a time, many of the OEMs, because of the quality of the work from many of the premium institutes like NID and IITs, they get opportunities working an internship. Many of the time, this internships get extended as full-time works, full-time opportunities within different companies. So, what I would recommend is, if you are getting an opportunity in any of this, you definitely can get an option to working in outside our country. You need not worry about the differences of the course duration, the timing when the classes is happening, and many of the times, especially in NID, there is exchange programs where students from our colleges will get to experience other colleges. Especially NID has exchange programs with many colleges across Europe and many colleges, especially Pforzheim University. It's a very wonderful design college in Germany, UMIA, Sweden. So these are, I'm giving you a very few number of, what is the other college? College of Creative Studies, USA. There are lots of colleges where you have opportunities, where we have exchange programs. We go over there, spend one semester over there, and that come back and we continue our course. So these are valid. So degree from NID and IITs in terms of design or PG is very much valid all across the globe. Don't worry about that.
Sir, how important is our Behance handle for portfolio purposes?
Nitin, Behance, you're saying Behance?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So there are a lot of wonderful works. If you look at it, the website like Behance, Pinterest, even Instagram. These are some of the beautiful websites where there are a lot of potential work which you can just refer to get an insight of where the students are, where people's, what are the capability of the people, students. Now, many of the time we have seen students who are probably in their primary, in their higher secondary school studies, and or even in the primaries. I have seen students doing wonderful design works, starting from graphic design, product design, illustration, industrial design works. They are doing wonderful work. And you can get to know what is the scenario or where the design trend is, what is the design trend, or where is the design taking us all together. So if you look, sometimes before there was a trend of what do we call that? Making things organic, or exactly the word is not getting the exact word. Something which is very eco-friendly. So there was a
Sustainable,
trend.
Vibhu.
Yes, sustainable. Yes, the word sustainable. So there was a trend that everybody started on working with sustainability, starting from products, which is maybe even in fashion design. Let it be car design, let it be product design, let it be everywhere. They started to incorporate sustainability. Even now, it is being followed, but it is something which has gradually come to saturation because of the very frequent updation. Maybe it is not really viable in terms of the practicality of the sustainable product, but it is come to an end. Many of the ideas probably are not really sustainable, but people are really fed up of these unwanted sustainable ideas. Similarly, there is a trend which is being followed. So following this sort of website will give you a very basic idea of what are different college students up to, what are their potentials, where am I standing comparing to these people, these students. So what is my potential? How much should I push myself so that I can be really a potential competent or a potential person for getting into a good company? So thus you can refer to them to get an idea of what's happening all around.
Okay, sir. Next question from Ritik. What field is preferred for branding and marketing? Is it graphic design or some other branch of design?
Branding and marketing, I think, see, that is graphic design is one of the option where you can purely work on the aesthetics. You need not worry much about the marketing part. The marketing team would probably give you the idea on which you should be working about. You should not rather be worried about the other visual merchandising, the marketing part, the UI UX. You are not much worried of that. So if you are a person, you are not much worried on those areas. Your only interest is to do sketching, to come up with creative ideas. Definitely go for graphic design. Or else there are other courses like retail and experience design. There are some more other courses which probably you can choose. I think there are options in Bangalore, R&D campus Bangalore, where there is a lot of courses which can probably interaction design, new media design. These are things which probably you can try. So before going ahead with these courses, I would recommend you definitely talk with someone who is really mature into these specific streams. I, being a designer, have limitations in giving insights on every courses because I'm not a fashion designer. So I can give you some very basic insight into fashion design, but I cannot give you in-depth information on what is fashion design or what is graphic design. I have limitations. So once, if you are really keen into going into any of this specific stream, you should identify the right person, probably go and meet them, and if possible, go and talk, visit the college itself to understand what is exactly happening over there.
So next question. Do I need to know Photoshop and similar softwares in order to get into these colleges?
Definitely no. So what I would say is, it's not about, as I said in the beginning, it's not about the skills, the sketching skills that you have. It is rather about your idea which matters. When you're entering there, if you have Photoshop, you are really good in digital tools. That is an added advantage. You have a cherry which you can keep on the top of the cake, but only until unless you have a cake, you can put a cherry on top of it. So the cake is basically your ideas. So make sure you have wonderful ideas and really good conceptualization skills on which you can put your small cherry, which is your tools, which you know. So that is an added advantage. Keep them aside. You can move far ahead if you know all those, but ideas is what matters the most.
So next question, is there a difference between being graduated from NID and graduated from IIT?
Okay, that is a very tricky question though. I don't literally see a very major difference in saying that you graduated from NID or IIT, because both of them are equally premium in terms of the name, the three-letter words IIT and ID. Both of them are premium considered all across the globe. Okay, I think you need not worry about that. But when a company is recruiting you, they definitely would look at whether you're NID or IIT. But more than that, what they would be looking at, what is the stuff which is there inside your portfolio? That is what matters. I know people who are from IIT who does wonderful work than NIDians, and I know there are NIDians who do wonderful work other to compared to IITians. So it's not related to the way you are from NID or IIT. What matters? It is again what is your skill, what is your capability. Again, coming to the fact, the way you should be looking at is there are definitely differences from difference when you look at NID and IIT. The thought process, the way the thinking happens, everything has a different way. For example, a company probably might be interested in recruiting someone who is from NID rather than IIT because it is something which is enhancing more free thinking. Their idea should be very unusual. And there is a company who is rather interested into taking people who are rather more functional. So they are not, in that case, they might not go for an NID and they rather might choose someone who is practical. Getting it? So each of them NID and IIT has their own pros and cons. And based on the different courses, for example, if you look at animation design, probably NID would be better than IIT. But if you look at different courses based on the courses, the type of contents being taught, the exposure, the things all around, I cannot exactly compare.
So next question from Google. Please explain the difference between product design and industrial design course.
Just a minute, hold on. Just a minute. A small okay. Admin, could you just repeat the question again? Sorry for that.
Okay, sir. Please explain the difference between product design and industrial design course.
Okay. I think you got mistaken by the word industrial design. See, industrial design is the major container which has the subcategories product design, transportation design, furniture design, toy and game design, ceramic and glassware design. It is like that. So industrial design is the major umbrella under which all these guys are there. Getting it? So basically, I had told in the presentation, industrial design basically caters to making you capable of conceptualizing and creating a product which can be mass produced in our society. For example, you take a watch, it's a mass produced thing. It's also designed by someone. A watch worn by a man is not the way a watch is worn by a woman. The design is different. A watch worn by someone who is very technically sound or a sportsman is entirely different. The one who goes for an adventure needs a different watch. So there is some sort of ideas or creative thinking which is going into creating this sort of sketching. Okay, admin.
So next question from Shreya. Is this M.Design course based on only research and paperwork, or we will get some practical knowledge too?
Could you repeat the first part? I didn't get it. Sorry.
Sir, is this M.Design course based on only research and paperwork, or we will get some practical knowledge too?
See, this course design is not a very conventional content which we are aware of. The problem being, we in our country in India, we have not been exposed into design education earlier. But gradually we have understood the importance that, as I said earlier, this has been incorporated into education. So we are really not aware of what is design education. How does this thing work? This is basically a mentorship-based course. Design is basically a mentorship-based course, and it is a combination of lateral thinking, creativity, and manual labor or physical work. So basically, it depends on which stream you're working. For example, as I said, there are courses where you probably need not work a lot on making products. For example, strategic design management. UI UX designer, you probably don't have to physically work with material. You are basically working in digital medium. Okay, UI UX designers still have some sort of sketching and illustrations there, but SDM probably need not have to do a lot of sketching also. They are entirely into a different way of thinking. They are into design thinking, the creative way of coming up with new ideas in a business, but in a unique way. That is what is design thinking. So that is something which is different and appreciated. But coming to the course, usually a design course is something which is mentorship based, where you have a lot of physical work going into, starting from your research. So how the process work is, you do a research. Based on research, you come up with an you synthesize your research and come up with some sort of outcomes. That is processed outcomes you convert into some sort of ideas in terms of illustrations or sketches. Why sketch means you have your idea in your mind, but you want to communicate it to someone. You can't just verbally communicate it. You need to sketch it out. That is why sketching is an important part in design. You sketch it out. This sketches, once you feel that okay, this is mature in terms of the all the details, you go next step ahead. You go for a prototyping it. So maybe your product is made up of bamboo. Maybe your product is made up of terracotta. The product is made up of cloth. You never know what it is. So based on that, you have to work with a lot of material. You will be given enough time for those, and you will be given the facilities and materials and the provided with enough infrastructures and help for making the things there. So it's actually a mixture of research work, sketching, and physical labor. Any more doubts?
So, next question from Parvati. Is there a page limit or something like that for the portfolios? And also, can sir please give a brief about what universal design is?
Anisha, sorry for that. I couldn't hear the first part. Could you just repeat again?
Okay, sir. So, is there a page limit or something like that for the portfolios?
Okay. So, actually, I have not introduced the word universal design in the industrial design. I should have put that over there. Universal design is basically a design which it's a very new stream of design which has recently come up. It comes under industrial design, which is very close to product designing also. So it is related to basically a larger variety of products. As I said, in industrial design, it is more of related to products which is mass produced. Universal design is all about creating solutions for any object or any product. It is rather it is basically a subdivision of product design. You can take it in that sense. So if you and you probably would have to work rather more on digital medium and softwares to solve your problem rather than physical medium when you're working with universal design. When you're working on product design or industrial design, you probably have to physically work a lot. Universal is somewhere it's in between the product design and a bit of the digital content, where you go for analyzing, prototyping and digital content, the stress calculation, all those probably will come under universal design. And coming to the portfolio part, see, it is not the content or the quantity which matters in your portfolio. It is rather the quality which matters. So I have seen portfolios which has 80-90 pages, but 90 pages of not really worth content. But I have seen projects which is having 5 or 6 handful of work, but all of them are worth enough. So what I would recommend is you need not have tons of work, but select the best work out of it, and probably that it should be going into your portfolio. And identify what is your specific interest. Are you a car designer? Are you a product designer? Are you a fashion designer? Try to showcase your interest in your stream through your portfolio. So you should have a work which shows your inclination towards your interest in the design. That should be there. And I would recommend a portfolio not more than 30 pages, max to max 35 or 40. 30 would be a decent portfolio with the best works you have done till date. That is what I would recommend. Because the person who is going to look at the portfolio should not want to spend a lot of time on it, will just quickly move through it, and there should be things which should be striking.
Sir, I'm a fine art student and my specialization is culture. Which department is best for me, or for which department I should go for MDes in NID?
Suvendu, you are actually an art student, right?
It's my last year in fourth year.
No, fourth year in BFA. What is it? What is your course you're doing?
I'm doing BFA in fine arts. My specialization is culture.
Got it.
Okay.
So, see, I cannot exactly say that which option should you choose, because I don't know what your skills are, what your capabilities are. Because I know people who are artists, but they are wonderful in terms of creating ceramic products. Until unless I know an individual personally, what are your skills, I cannot comment on where you should be opting for. So you should try exploring what are the courses provided in these colleges. Definitely the premium options should be, you should look for what are the courses provided in IIT, NID and SPA. What are the courses there? What do they teach? If possible, try to get a contact of a faculty or a student over there. Try to talk with them. Okay, and you probably can get in-depth understanding of what the course is all about. Then should you choose what you should be going about. See, if I had known you maybe from you are a friend of mine, or probably somebody who I knew, I could have given some suggestions. Okay, I know your skills are this, your capabilities are that. I can't just randomly comment you are a sculptor, your interest is in sculpting. Doesn't make you capable not enough to make a product. You may be a really wonderful and maybe creating in fashion design. So I never know that. So I can't comment on those. So probably you should be the one who should explore the possibilities.
But I have a great love for automobile design. I think car designing. I love most to design.
Go for
cars.
it. Why not? Very good, really good. That's really wonderful. See, if you have interest towards car design, please make sure it's a very advanced field of design. If you look at designs, there are different level of design. Car design is something which is very advanced. Your knowledge in the car design should be really good. So make sure you are really mature, or you make yourself mature in the field of car design. You understand in depth what automotive design is all about just before going into those. Okay, so nobody is stopping you from going into car design. If you feel that it is an option, go for it.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Hello, Anisha ma'am. Can we go to last two questions and wind up?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah, because it's getting late, so we'll try to wind up by 5 exact, sharp 5. So last two questions.
Okay, sir. I'll read one more question and we'll wind up. So the question is, so after 10 plus 2, 3 years degree is valid for NID and CEED entrance. Right?
I didn't get it.
So after 10 plus 2, 3 years degree is valid for NID and CEED entrance, right?
Yes.
I think that the question is whether 3 years is required, or 3 years students can, is it possible, or you need a 4-year degree, something like that. That is what they are trying to ask.
See, I think that is a very, very specific question. What I would say is that, again, I can't just generally say that it can be accepted by every colleges. So if you feel that your degree is only for 3 years and you are being awarded a UG degree, undergraduate degree certificate, and it is only for 3 years, I don't know if all the colleges are going to accept it. I'm skeptical about it. So maybe you can probably contact, because as I said, even though common entrance exam for design is common platform for all IITs and SPAs, the admission procedure for each and every IITs is entirely autonomous. So each IITs decide what is the what is the rules. They are the ones who decide the rule. Okay, even though you have qualified for the seed, we would want you to have this qualifications, or you probably are not qualified for this course because you did not have this course. You're not done your UG in this course. There are some colleges, some IITs with limitations, so I cannot just go and blindly say that you can go for it. So make sure you visit their personal website and accordingly you should proceed for that.
Okay, thank you, Anisha ma'am. Shall we wind up, Anisha ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, we can.
Thank you, Vibhu. Thank you. I'm sure that it was very informative for all the students. Thank you. You have gone through a lot of streams. You have went through generally about MDes, as well as you went through a lot of specializations also. Thank you, Vibhu. Thank you from THiNC, as well as thanks from all the students side also, and thanks for all the students who have joined through WebEx as well as YouTube, and all of them who have worked behind to arrange the webinar. Thanks to them. And one more information which I want to share to everyone: the new MDes batch, I think, starts on September 13th. The contact number to know more details, it is 8086 111 the number which you can see on the screen. Feel free to contact if you have any other queries also. Thank you. If there is any other queries also, you can just send it in WhatsApp, and we'll make sure that your queries are addressed. Okay.
Repeat the number.
Sorry.
Hello. Please repeat the number, contact number you have said.
8086 111 It's there on the screen, which you can see. 8086 111
216. Thank you. Okay.
8086 111 Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, and we'll stop the session.
Thank you, Wasim. Thank you all.